2008, I decided to move to Buenos Aires. Buenos Aires, I found an opportunity online where I moved to Buenos Aires and I decided to teach English. I got my certification within like a month or two. I decided to teach English and live abroad again, just permanently. So I was there. I got there in 2008. I was working there. I was living there, my different housing arrangements and things like that. Started picking up clients. I got a job right away when I was there. The people were so welcoming. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe how welcoming the people were. I got there. People were opening doors for me. People were inviting me to come study. My certification seemed like they didn't really even care about my certification. I was just getting invited. I was getting a lot of clients. I was getting a lot of students. I was just, everything seemed like it was going great compared to what I had been going through in the States. So I found it was just amazing. So fast forward, I left the agency. I left the agency and I ended up working on my own. I worked on my own for a little bit. And then I started getting my own clients individually. Started basically freelancing on my own without the agency. Agency was great. Agency was cool. But I ended up getting clients on my own. I started venturing out in the city on my own by myself. I was able to then intermingle with some people, with some locals that are my friends today, that are my colleagues today. Some locals that I met there, white locals that I met there. They took me in. They said, "Hey, Chad, how was your living arrangements? If you need somewhere to stay, I know some connections. I can help you with some connections. I can get you to some places." I lived in V-Shore Keys. As soon as I got to V-Shore Keys, I decided, I found a place where I was going to play basketball. I found a group of people, a group of guys that I said, Argentinian guys. And I said, I'm going to start playing basketball here. I'm going to play basketball here. I want to see if I can meet some people, intermingle with a group. But my intention wasn't to make friends. My intention was to play basketball, to have fun, to practice a sport, different sport, and kind of enjoy myself while I was living there. It was close to where I was staying. I got to this place. I got to this neighborhood. The people were open arms. They opened their arms to me. They say, "Hey, Chad, come in. Come hang out with us. Come, hang out. Let's go to the bar. Let's go to have some drink. Let's go out. Come to my house. Have lunch." This is in Argentina. This is in Buenos Aires, Argentina. These are people that, at the time I was going through a financial transition where I didn't really have much. And the people were so welcoming. At this basketball place, I met so many different people, so many people that invited me out. So many people that invited me to their houses. They would give me things like, and I'm not ashamed to say, they would give me things like new shoes. They would give me things like recommendations to go different places, to come to their houses and watch NBA playoff games. And getting to the story, one of my clients, one of my students, because came to a time where I was going to need a visa, right? I was going to need a visa. I was going to need to be able to stay there at the time. And my time was going to be cut short if I didn't find a place to stay.